Hello everybody, Cedric here, CR Wrestling Commentary, Friday night SmackDownish. Be going over that. We're going to get started, and this will all conclude with a heavy, detailed prediction of the Bloodline storyline. That's what I'm going to do. Wrote it out, didn't necessarily read it completely. It's just one scenario of many that they could do. So let's get this started, all right? So this took place on the 17th, 2 days ago. It's Sunday, 5:50 a.m. It's early. That's what I put on Discord. I know it's early. It's early, but it's also late. I guess literally, I don't know. I like early. So look, this starts with the Queen of the Ring match. Bianca Belair versus Tiffany Stratton. I watch these matches because I ain't got nothing too much to do. So I'll watch. Belair, she kept selling the knee, and it's a carryover from last week. So thank you, Bianca, for doing that. Stratton did a great job as a heel to distract the ref and get her move in for a 2 count near the end. But Belair fights back, gets her finish, and she wins. Belair sells the knee. She does the wrestling well. She's highly athletic. Great build on her. Size, power, agility, total package. She does the selling, and she can talk. So I'm enjoying that. I don't like the fake hair thing. The long braid is distracting. And I guess it overly gives the heels something to do and tick the fans off, which it does. That's a good thing. I'm scared of the serious hiccup that could happen if that hair gets wrangled in the ropes during an Irish whip or something. You know, it's gonna be terrible when that thing gets snatched off. You know, it's in any case. So the Bloodline Part 1. So Tama Tonga being Tommy Davidson in Ace Ventura When Nature Calls, that's who he is now. Solo simply says, "It's time." And Tonga leaves with his rabid, yeah. It is hurting my feelings that they are killing his promo skills. Tama Tonga can talk, man. He can talk. And now he's just reduced to some rabid animal thing. It's, oh my goodness. He's here. He's wrestling. It's a paycheck to take care of his family, and that's how I resolve this in my head so I don't rage out. That's really it. LA Knight talks backstage, and Carmelo Hayes walks in and gets absolutely obliterated as he needs to be. Hayes has ruined himself in my eyes. Hayes proclaims the fans will chant H-I-M to deliver like The Rock or Triple H. And Knight shuts it down enough to be all the murderer degrees, and then says they will shout the letters, and without saying a word, he just points and the fans were on it. It's not piped in, it is legit. Hayes needs to kill the last name that he's got because he doesn't deserve it. Shoot or not for his last name, he don't deserve it. He'd be great in AEW though. So, Bloodline Part 2, King of the Ring match, Tama Tonga versus LA Knight. Tama's gimmick is that of a mofo Tongan. That's what MFT is supposed to be. That's what Cedra had researched and found. And as soon as the bell rings, he's on the attack. So that's his thing. The fans chant, "We want Roman." There's a reason he's not there, and I got a feeling of why. I'll talk about that at the end of the review. I told you at the beginning, so what I was going to do. Tama missed the diving massive body press, and I wish they had not done that. They didn't even mention it was the Superfly splash. I get that Snuka wasn't the best guy beyond the ring, But if you use that, then you have to use that with every single racist, drug user, drug dealer, wife beater, child abandoner, family ditching, in-ring assault, and battery person since day one. And then the people you can like becomes a bottleneck of job talent and maybe 5 stars. So if you ain't gonna hate on all the bad-minded people, you know, don't hate on one. Just saying, if that was the reason why they did that with him, with Tama Tonga and the Superfly Splash, because he does it just like Snuka. It's perfect. But this is the second match where the Bloodline distracts everyone outside the ring. Funny moment, Lil Nate addresses Solo and says, while he's outside and approaching LA Knight, who is pretty much trying to goad him, he's taunting him. He says, "Back your ass up." No bleep at all. Back your ass up. Back up. Back up, I said. I'm like, no. That popped me. Tama Tonga wins with the sprinting complete shot when LA Knight gets back into the ring. So, okay, 2 matches that are cookie cutter. No, Tama isn't winning this thing, but they are establishing him. That's how I felt then. It's a possible change later. So, you know, the best minds can be changed with logic and rationality, not by force and bullying. Keep that in mind. It was why I'm sort of like, this is an opinion because I'm in the middle. It can go either way, but you'll find out later. So after the match, Carmelo bothers LA Knight backstage saying he couldn't get the job done. And I remember seeing who Carmelo has to wrestle in the main event. And I'm like, really, dude? Okay, but you got to act like you're going to win. Knight verbally blasts him again while bleeding from the shoulder. That was a hard way, juicing and aids in the battle of the ring. So that's a good thing. You know, he was bleeding. It's weird. It's almost like there's so much light there, or whatever filter they might have had on. The blood almost looked like it was Disney blood or something. I know it was real, but it just looks so weird. So then we come to the contract signing that I didn't really want to take notes on, but I did anyway because it was actually that compelling. So Cody does a masterful babyface Dusty bit where he addresses the fan near and the fan in the cheapest seat possible. That level of inclusion in this thing, it makes people glad they showed up, and people at home wonder if they would be addressed that way. Therefore, people who know Cody will be there will want to be there too. Great job. Cody's eyes is starting to look more like his brother's, who's been looked more like his dad's. It's something about Logan that legitimately gets under Cody's skin, because Cody was agitated from the get-go. He wasn't calm and confident and whatnot. He was agitated. Maybe he feels about him the way Zemo and I and Cedra feel about it. And I like how he threw it out there. You're not serious about this. You're a tourist. You're just here for the moment. You know, we need to just go ahead and do this and get you up out of here. And it was weird. You could hear this ominous half hush over the crowd like, yeah. But Logan is a natural heel and calls out the double title match and uses his own lawyer to make a new contract, waiving his U.S. title from the match, and tries to make Aldis make it official, and Aldis calls that out. And then the lawyer asks if Aldis is threatening his client. The fans were pissed with that. Cody relieves Nick Aldis of his duty. I didn't know Cody had that level of power, under the threat of Aldis blowing up like Aldis can do. So Aldis leaves the ring, and then Logan Paul jaw jacks the fans and Cody for not being worthy of his title. Cody fires all the way up, signs the contract, and then he and Logan fight as we knew what happened, and somebody's going to have to go through that table. So that, while Logan was knocked over the top rope, his goon takes a powerbomb onto the table, and I don't like that because you watch a ton of Cody's matches, you don't really necessarily see him do power bombs. Just a body slam, a suplex, that'd be good. Standing front power slam, that'd be all right. But a hip toss, cool. Power bomb, it's old hack. That's how I see it. Then we get Queen of the Ring, a Queen of the Ring match. Why did I write QOTR or Coda twice? Okay, Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill. From the last match I saw of Jax, she should never lead a match, and Cargill is far from being a leader in the ring. This might be an AEW match. Thinking about it, Jade should feel nostalgic about it all then. But on the floor, Jade gets billed, and you can hear a kid shout, "Mommy!" And I'm like, what? I didn't think they let her kid in there. It does add a ton of realism and concern, so that it's good. Jade is the babyface, so okay, fine. I just didn't see anybody around her kid when they showed her. And she's so mad at Nia, and Nia's being dastardly in front of her, and I'm like, man, Nia needs flexibility. She needs some agility. Lose that weight, not all of it, 20%. She needs to lose about 20%. It's just Nia doesn't do much bending in the middle. And I think that hampers her. And Jax probably might be someone that doesn't care to learn, which that's a downfall. So Jax, at the end of the match, she swings the chair overhead at Jade, who tries to grab it properly, but it slipped past her right hand. It's almost like Jade tried to get it, but it just beamed off the palm of her hand, and it just missed. So that cracked on the side of the neck and head area. Jade takes the weapon, uses it to blast Nia. This calls for a DQ, and both women fight outside the ring, and while the fans chant bullshit. Okay, so just to break it down real quick, socially, the fans are right. Jade took the weapon that was used on her and retaliated. The ref should have DQ'd Jax for swinging it and making some form of contact. But when Jade uses it, it's a DQ. So you can see why they'd be mad at that. Officially, it's not who swings the weapon, it's who swings the weapon and causes damage to the opponent. Yes, that should DQ Jax, but that wasn't the spot, so Jade got DQ'd instead. So the women kept fighting. Staff had a hard time breaking it up to go to a break. So they might be in a feud or something, and I really don't recommend it. Jax can't lead. Jade is too green. Jade will listen to instructions. It's not good. It's not good if they're going through a beef. King of the Ring match. Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes. I watched it. Didn't care. Orton wins with a capture ace crusher. Okay. I mean, it was a perfect spot. Nothing wrong with it. Carmelo is not dangerous in the ring. Randy has hurt himself in the ring more so than any opponent. But Carmelo has a lot of wasted moves. Randy Orton called this match. He did well. Carmelo didn't do a whole bunch of finishing moves. I'm just soured on Carmelo. I don't have any trust in him. I don't have any faith in him. It just, I don't, as a wrestler, I'm done. I was high on him that first night. He did great with Cody. I thought that a couple of moves he should have not done, but then, I see, oh wow, he's worse than, okay, that's just him. Once you've been in NXT, after you've been retrained, you get on NXT and then you've been there for over 3 months. Okay, in general, over 3 months, despite how long he may have been there, I don't know, but you don't have an excuse to be so indie. Professional wrestling has way too many moves, way too many styles to just go in there and spam signature and finishing moves the whole match. You know, the fans will only love what you tell them to love. So wrestle. In any case, Bloodline Part 3. The Bloodline comes out. Part 2 is when Tama Tonga's match started. Part 1 was right before that when he was yeah. That Tommy Davidson out. Okay. And then he will smash your head on the rock. In any case. So Part 3, the Bloodline comes out during the in-match promo of Randy Orton. Orton gets to promo against Tama and predict his win in Saudi Arabia next week. Although it was mentioned to be the week after. That was mentioned in the beginning. So, I mean, can't be perfect. It's all good. No issues. So for those that made it this far, about 16 minutes, 40 some seconds in, here's my Bloodline predictions. It's the whole storyline that I think is going to play out. And if anything changes, cool. If y'all think different, let me know down there in the comment section. It is all good. It's all good. All right. So remember, it's not that I have any inside knowledge, but some things, you can't help it. Some things just make a little bit too much sense. You know, great stories have predictability as well as some twists. So here we go. It's going to be pretty long, but I'm going to get through it. Hope y'all get through it with me. All right. So as Cornette would say, how can we miss you if you don't go away? Okay. Reigns loses the belt just as The Rock goes off to do a movie. The fans want Roman to restore order to the bloodline. No one is chanting that they want The Rock. So that's a point where this is proving The Rock was a massive heel and Roman, while a detestable heel, was one they know will be there. So that's important. The fans know that Roman will be there, and Sikoa is someone that they don't want in control because he's making the bloodline far more violent than it needs to be. But I recall when I first started listening to the bloodline, they were this level of violence. When Sikoa got there, he was this level of violence. So, okay, Sikoa takes over, and Heyman must be his wise man. Tama Tonga joins as the MFT or Mofo Tongan. As soon as Tonga Loa joins, the MFT is dropped as a designation. Because you can't say this is the team, the MFTs. They might have been working up for that. But how you gonna, they could be the team name, the Sons of Haku or something. If I was Tama Tonga, Gorillas of Destiny, I'm like, if y'all gonna try to own and copyright that, you can't have it. That's how I would be. You're not gonna take our legacy name. That's how. So possible storyline paths. Here we go. If Tama Tonga wins King of the Ring, the bloodline will look dominant, and this will propel Tama Tonga into a higher role within the match card. So he won't be just mid card opening or anything like that. He'll be like up there. He'll be up there, permanently up there. Like the show is getting boring. It's the second hour. Let's pull him out, right then or in the main event. That's what it can do. This will give viability to Solo Sikoa and compel Randy, who was screwed out of a victory, needing Kevin Owens to return and tag up against the Tongan brothers. Not sure what name they're going to go with, so I just called them that. This is just a prediction. I ain't saying it's going to happen. If Orton wins King of the Ring, this can spark a massive storyline for when Kevin Owens returns and Orton can have a tag partner to battle Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, who in my head, I keep calling them Tama Tonga Loa. But so though either way, either win is good. I would like Tama Tonga to win. You know, you take away his voice, you take away a lot of his wrestling skill. Let him have something. King Tama Tonga. That'd be nice. So, with Tama Tonga winning, King of the Ring Solo will have a higher recognition, and thus I think it'll go this way. Now Solo can run roughshod over anyone in his way, and by the time SummerSlam arrives, Roman Reigns can return, vying to reclaim his throne from Sikoa, who lied about ever talking to him. So with Orton and Owens having issues with the bloodline, Reigns' return will help the odds, but not enough. And maybe we'll get Jacob Fatu to aid Roman for moderate balance. Heyman will play a masterful role in being in the middle, as he has to choose if he wants to be with the heels of the bloodline, since they've always been, heels, or will he side with Roman, a babyface who has seemingly lost his teeth for true battle? Because that'd be a good way to play off Roman, to make him a babyface. He'll be mad. He'll want vengeance. He'll want justice, but do it the right way. That will make Roman look weak to someone like Solo Sikoa. So maybe that'll happen. Heyman will only side with the real tribal chief. Keep that in mind. That can be a fight at SummerSlam. SummerSlam will not see a true conclusion, as a possible 3-on-3 is even, or maybe there'll be a singles and then tag with the others. But Heyman being more afraid of Sikoa than his respect for Reigns, the tide has not fully shifted if they're going to go that way. The bloodline needs a boost. They will build up for War Games or Survival Series. Hey, look, I don't watch WWE like that, so I'm out of the loop of pay-per-view orders and whatnot. But they're going to have to build up for something. And then The Rock will return after all the movies and all this other stuff, for The Rock, the final boss, was the tribal chief Solo has respected this whole time. So Reigns is going to feel a way about that. So Reigns will lose Orton and Owens due to either them being injured or another tag team distracting them, and thus will gain help from the Usos and do battle with the Rock's bloodline. If Jacob has not joined by now, he will join now to scare the hell out of the Rock. This will assure Reigns' faction as the grand fan favorites. This will set things up for a 4-on-4, as well as the WrestleMania headlining day one match of Reigns versus Rock for leader of the bloodline. Since the Rock never stays around to lead anything, Reigns will win, the Rock will leave again, Paul Heyman will side with Roman, and the bloodline just might be too large of a faction for one show, so they can split, with Sikoa leading on Raw with Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. That's what it seems like could happen. They could do a whole lot from that. So that's one way this whole storyline can go all the way up to WrestleMania. The Rock could do, if they're going to do something different and they stay and do long term, they could do that. The Rock coming in and out, he's the one that they check on. Hey, look, I'm in my penthouse. I'm here doing my thing. Y'all keep it tight. Y'all need some help? Call me. But I will be watching. I'll judge if you need help. Leave me alone. He can just go back and forth real quick in one breath. And that'll be entertaining for everybody. There'll be some laughs and whatnot. But that is what I think might happen. So Y'all let me know what y'all think. All right. It's been Cedric for CR Wrestling Commentary. Friday night SmackDownish. And with that, y'all be cool, be chill, be safe. And I'll see you next time.